If every room you enter changes who you are, you were never anybody to begin with. Let me say that again. If your beliefs, your energy, tone, and values shift depending on who's watching, then you're not adaptable. You're lost. You're not playing the game, you're just being played. Because a man without a set identity is a man who can be controlled by women, by trends, by algorithms, by whatever is the loudest that day. And if you don't set your identity consciously, I promise you, the world is going to do it for you. Before we go any further, what's going on, Limitless Legion? Or if you're new to my channel, welcome to the channel. This channel is for the ones who know they're built for more, the ones who don't run from pressure, they grow through it. So if you want to be a part of the Limitless Legion, all you got to do is subscribe to the channel and leave a like, because it lets the algorithm know that we are building something real over here. Without further ado, the title of today's video is, if your identity shifts with the room, you don't have one. So let's talk about the problem that nobody talks about. There is this popular lie in culture right now to be flexible, be agreeable, don't be difficult. But let me ask you guys this. What do we call people who are too agreeable? We call them forgettable. People remember clarity. People remember certainty. Energy that stays the same no matter who enters or who leaves the room. And when you don't have a defined identity, everything about you becomes circumstantial. Your beliefs, your style, is your style dependent on whatever the trend cycle is at the time? Are you giving your direction a GPS, and the thing that is guiding your GPS is social approval? And the worst part, you don't even notice it, because it'll feel like you're in control, but you're being curated. So you have identity by default and you have identity by design. Identity by default is passive, guys. It's inherited. It comes from what you were told growing up. It could come from TikToks. It could come from traumas. Or more subtle, it could come from trends, okay? It's basically a collage of other people's opinions, other people's ideals, and you're the frame that's holding all these things that were put into you together. Now let's talk about identity by design, because that's intentional. And for the fellas, that's masculine. You choose it, you built it, and you filtered your influences. So you said, I stand for this. I don't tolerate that. This is my code. This is my edge. And now when the world tests you, you don't even give it a second look. All right? Because a lot of us are out here being shapeshifters. And that's risky. So let's get this clear. There's a big difference between being adaptable and you trying to be a chameleon to everything. Adaptable men are able to adjust. Chameleons just adjust to everything. And what also becomes the determining factor is why you're adjusting. Most times a chameleon is just adjusting in order to avoid friction. But friction is where identity gets tested, y'all. And a tested identity becomes a trusted identity. Don't let that go over your head. A tested identity is a trusted identity. So people will test you. And it's going to be hard for people to believe you if they can't predict what you believe? They can't respect that because you're always adjusting in order to avoid what? Judgment. And then guess what? You're not free. You're just liked. And it's not even really a deep rooted like. It's very surface level. And this is ultimately going to affect you because being liked is really a cage that appears like a compliment. Let's talk about the algorithm for a second and how it rewires you as well. Let's go a little bit deeper. Everything that you consume, every scroll, every like, every post is also shaping your internal world. And if you're not consciously filtering your inputs, then the algorithm is actually going to keep feeding you what you unconsciously gravitate towards. And that's why people go deeper and deeper into echo chambers today. And it's not necessarily because they're bad people, but it's because their identity is being passively sculpted and is being sculpted by their consumption. So let's come with solutions. How do we fix this? You probably need to unplug. You probably need to recalibrate. And while you're unplugged and you're in this recalibration phase, you need to get intentional. But intentional about what? You need to get intentional about who you follow. You need to get intentional about what you watch. You need to get intentional about what conversations you allow. And what beliefs you need to start testing. And ultimately, what beliefs you need to drop. And most importantly, y'all, who you choose to be when nobody's watching. Your power is not in how loud you are, y'all. It's in how constant you are. Men who know who they are don't need to be flashy. They don't argue. They don't chase approval. They don't panic under pressure. Do you understand? So understand this. You need to shape your own identity, and you need to take the time. You need to recalibrate, and you need to get intentional about it, or else you're going to be molded unconsciously and you won't even know it. And one day you're going to wake up and you're not even going to recognize yourself, and you're not going to know how you got there. So I'll leave it there, guys. I need you guys to like the video. Also subscribe if you want to join the Limitless Legion. And Cash App is below if you want to tip your boy, buy your boy iced coffee with lavender syrup. And join the Patreon where I post exclusive self-improvement content that is not on YouTube. But until then, guys, I'll catch you in the next video.